Welcome, fight fans, to another edition of Double Jab Boxing Podcast with Kyo. I'm your host, as always, Rich Quinones, and of course, we are powered by Boxlab Promotions. Speaking of which, one of their rising stars, we will see him in action. Just 18 years of age, a good-looking super featherweight, Kaipo Gallegos, and you are 5-0-1. We are going to get an opportunity to see you July 26 at the famed Caribe Royale in Orlando, Florida, in association with Boxlab Promotions. Of course, your fight, that card will be on DAZN. And Kaipo, I appreciate a couple moments. And man, I'll tell you, 18 years of age, 5-0-1 already. And I'm wondering, an 18-year-old kid should be going to high school, getting ready for college, hanging out with their friends. You've had a couple fights under your belt, 18-time national champ. Walk us through this journey for you, just 18 years of age. What made you want to get started in the sport of boxing?
My family been in boxing for a long time, and I started boxing when I was 5 years old.
Wow.
I started competing at 8 years old, and from then I just fell in love with the sport, and I became a 18-time national champion with a record of 130 and 11 losses. And now I'm here in the professionals, just doing what I love. And next week, you catch me live on DAZN in Orlando, Florida, uh, getting ready for 6-0.
I love how every fighter knows exactly to a T their amateur record. They know exactly how many wins and exactly how many losses. As we mentioned, you're pro 5-0-1. You made quick work of Carlos Martinez, second round knockout. He came in with a lot of rounds under his belt, 13 and 23. Now you got Armando Frostro, your next opponent, and we'll see that live on July 26th. But I am curious. 18 years of age, I went back and I looked at some of these snippets, old YouTube clips. Well, I don't want to say old because you're still relatively young,
Yeah,
right? So a couple of years ago, I'm thinking, wow, this kid's, 8, 9, 10 years old. And I guess people were nicknaming you the next Manny Pacquiao, right? Filipino,
yeah.
Hawaiian, your background. We know about Pacquiao. Is that a nickname that's going to stick with you, has stuck with you? Is that a nickname you want? Do you have you emulated yourself or trying to emulate your career after Manny Pacquiao? What were the comparisons when that nickname came about?
I like Pacquiao. I love how he fights, but I feel like I have a different style from him. Um, I try to put some of his stuff in my game, but I feel like I could box, I could brawl, I could fight in the inside, and just I got good ring IQ, and I just feel like I got a different style from Pacquiao.
Yeah, and listen, you're 18 years of age, right? I mean, it's very rare. Back in the day when kids, young fighters, 18, some stage, you have to get it. That exception, you're 5'8", you're a southpaw, always tricky. People never want to fight a southpaw. I was going back with some research. I mean, you've kind of been in there with the who's who of sparring, if you will. Pardon me, Shakur Stevenson, Keith Davis, Devin Haney, Jorge Linares. I'm thinking to myself, wow, I mean, you're in there holding your own. Then the expectation for you is to have a very long and storied and successful championship level career. What did you take away from those sparring sessions with those aforementioned boxers that I just named?
I took away a lot. I like how they fight, and I just take what they do best, and I just try to put it in my game. And I just like learning from the best, and it was a good experience working with all of them. And I just try to do what they do and just put it in my game.
Your father uh, trained you. You got a good circle around you. Obviously, signed with Boxlab Promotions. And again, we'll see you July 26th, Caribe Royale in Orlando, Florida, taking on Armando Frausto. Nice little step up, too, as well. 37 years of age. I think he just snapped a three-fight slide, how to win his last time out. So get your rounds in, as we like to say. But an 18-year-old kid, right? I mean, you should be doing 18-year-old things. You
Yeah.
consider yourself just basically hardcore into boxing full time, a student of the game, 24/7. Boxing is my life.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a student of the game. I just been boxing for so long, and this is what I love to do. So boxing is just boxing is what I'm gonna do for sure.
So, what about a Saturday night? If there's no fights on and you're not fighting, do you like to do what an 18-year-old would do? You hang out with your friends, you go out, you go to the movies, you go out, get something to eat.
No, not really. If I'm not in the gym, I'm usually with the family on the weekends, just staying home, and usually my family they like to barbecue a lot, so I'm just stay home and just stay with the family.
Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. That'll keep you on the straight and narrow. How about having your father pretty much in your corner? I mean, that's, father-son's relationships. We know at times they can be wonderful. Sometimes they can be a little tricky, but it seems as though he has your best interest in heart and you guys work well together.
Yeah, me and my dad, we've been doing this for a long time. He been with me since day one, and everything's been going good. So next week we're gonna get another win on my record.
I mentioned the fight against Martinez, getting the jab, getting on that stick. I always say this, guys, fighters that have a long, successful amateur record. You kind of know when they're amateurs, when like myself is calling the fights, because anytime they throw combinations, they get right back on the jab, the stick. Young fighter like you, how important, especially southpaw, how important is it for you to work behind that jab?
It's very important. Jab is the way to set up your combinations, set up a big punch, and every time you just got to get back on that jab to just set up, get ready for the next combination.
Were you looking for something in that last fight against Martinez that enabled you after that first round to get him out of there in the second?
I wasn't really looking for it. I just knew it would come, so I was just taking my time, and yeah, I just knew it would come, so I just caught him at the right time.
You're right now super featherweight. You're 18 years of age. You're still going to grow into your frame and grow into your body. In a
Yeah,
perfect world, what's your walk around weight right now?
right now I'll walk around like 147,
Okay,
146.
and that's is that where you believe you're most comfortable fighting at?
Yeah, maybe 135. So
135.
yeah, 135 would be good.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. So you can see yourself going down to 135.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically staying there your whole career.
Maybe I'm still growing into my body, so maybe in
Exactly.
the future I'll go
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. I
But
mean, you
right
got
now 135.
Yeah, I was going to say, with all those barbecues coming up on the weekends, you're going to start to put on a pack on the pounds, right? You got to get your road
Yeah.
work in. But I'm 18 years old. You should not be carrying any type of maybe a little baby fat here and there. But 18 years old, I know you're burning through the fat. Walk me through a training camp. How much road work do you do? How much road work goes into your training camp, or is a lot of it? Hey, my conditioning's pretty good. It's all sparring now.
Road work. Usually I run like every other day, like 5 to 6 miles, and other than that, I'm training, doing conditioning work in the gym, and just I'm in great shape right now, so I'm just ready to put on the show.
What can we expect from you on the 26th against Fausto? That again will be at the Caribe Royale, Orlando, Florida, in association with Boxlab Promotions, airing on DAZN. What can we expect come fight night?
You can expect a great performance. I feel like I've trained hard. I did everything right, and I'm just gonna get the job done and put on a great show.
Do you enjoy your time off when the fights are on? Doesn't matter the network, but will you sit down with your dad and will you pick up certain things, or do you just go back and you watch old YouTube clips? Do you watch the current fight game? And if so, are there any fighters that you might follow right now that you can appreciate?
Yeah, sometimes we be watching the fights on the weekends, seeing what we could add to our game. And one of the fighters I like to watch Terrence Crawford is one of my favorites right now. Terrence Crawford, I like Canelo, Tank. Yeah, so I just watch whoever I like and just try to add to my bag.
You see a Boots Ennis Terrence Crawford fight in the cards
Yeah,
anytime soon?
that would be a great fight. Hopefully they make it happen soon. That would be a great fight for the fans.
You mentioned that you sparred with Shakur Stevenson, and I know, on social media, we know it can be very toxic and guys go back and forth. And I remember this kid from the amateur ranks, Newark, New Jersey, covered him, watched him as he turned pro, the Olympics, everything. And you don't have to be, and this is just me, and I guess it's more of a statement slash a question, but in my estimation, the job is to move around, uh, to hit your opponent to not get hit, right? So it doesn't always have to be aesthetically pleasing. I'm sure your father told you that as well, right? Fight smart. But with a kid like Shakur, I think he's an extremely talented fighter, but yet I feel as though he's not appreciated But then again, he just goes out there and he wins and he does what he needs to do. I mean, you look at the sport of boxing, you're entrenched in it. Do you ever say to yourself, man, I don't want to get caught up with that? Like, my style is my style, whether people think I'm fan friendly or not. I'm just going to go out there and just do what I do best.
Yeah, Shakar, he fights good. I like his style a lot. But as long as you get the job done, I mean, you get the win and you're good. So like, it's hit and not get hit is the name of the sport.
How many rounds you going? The 26. That's six rounder.
Yeah, six rounder.
And then, do you foresee, being moved where you'll start to get in a couple more eight rounders, a little more tougher level of competition? And then with that, I mean, listen, in that division, you get 9, 10, 11, 12 fights or wins under your belt. All of a sudden, regional belts that open things up, whether say like an NABO, NABF, NABA. I mean, it's always good to kind of get those belts because then you have an opportunity to be put in those world rankings. So you see yourself going forward, eight rounders, a little more step up in competition after you get through July 26th.
Oh yeah, of course. I feel like I can start. I've already been in two eight rounders. Yeah, two eight rounders. So I feel like I'm ready for eight rounder after this fight and just staying busy and just adding to my record.
That's the key, right? I mean, young
Yeah,
fighters, they want to stay busy in a perfect world. Guys want 4, 5, 6 fights. They want to keep stockpiling those fights and get that record
yeah.
out there. So, as you mentioned, did you do any scouting on your opponent or you let your team do that?
Yeah, I let my team do that, and they just let me know what I need to work on, what I need to do fight day, and I've seen a little bit of him. He's a tough opponent, but I feel like I could get the job done.
Yeah, veteran guys I mentioned, you have a slight advantage with the height as well. And as I mentioned, he's just coming off a 4-round win. I think it was over Jose Garcia. That snapped a 3-fight slide. But again, southpaws are tricky, man. Nobody wants to fight guys like you. They want to steer clear of
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
So that means you have to have patience, right? When you're setting up, when you let your team put together the opponent for you. And look, I think, being under that Boxlab Promotions staple, it's just a roster of young and up and coming fighters, man. And you mentioned your national pedigree, 18-time national champ, and starting off so young, having your father in your corner and by your side. I mean, everything's kind of set up for you. If kind of a loaded question to kind of close it out. I know you're just 18, but let's say there's a young amateur fighter right now watching Double Jab Podcast with Q as you are my guest. What kind of advice can you give a young fighter right now?
Just keep working, stay dedicated. Um, your time will come. You just gotta keep working, stay dedicated, and just put in the time, cause your time will come for sure.
Yeah, it's all about staying the course. And
Yeah.
lastly, anything you want to promote, plug, if you do anything with social media, this is the time. Let the audience know where they can follow and find you.
You can follow me on IG at Kaipo Gallegos.
All right. So very simple. Just cut and
Yeah.
dry. Your name is unique. Like that's a good, unique, that's a fighter's name. That's a tough name, man. You got to brand that and market it and get it out there and just use it to your
Yeah.
advantage.
Yeah. Sure.
All right. Well, listen, I know you're well spoken, extremely humble, and 18, man. I'm telling you, I'm just shocked that you're not going out to the movies at least 1 or 2 times on a Saturday night and trying to enjoy yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
That's discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of discipline.
Hey, that's how you have to be, my friend. Well, listen, I appreciate you jumping on Double Jab for a couple moments. We'll follow you on social. The best of luck. And again, you can see Kaipo Friday, July 26th, the famed Caribe Royale, Orlando, Florida, Boxlab Promotions, and airing on the DAZN. Appreciate you jumping on board for a couple moments, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.